Donald Trump has never been known to hold back any word. He says it the way it is, right? He has always been known to not have political correctness, but this statement is one particular that ignited outrage across the globe and remained one of the most controversial remarks of his political career. Standing before cameras, Trump declared that he wanted a complete and total shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until the country could figure out what the hell is going on. Those words shocked millions. Some people applauded him, calling it a necessary response to terrorism. Others condemned the statement as discriminatory, unconstitutional, and harmful to millions of peaceful Muslims. Yeah, I get the fact that not everybody that is a Muslim is a terror, and not everybody that is a Muslim actually harms others. But then there is that sect, this extremist sect, the Islamic Brotherhood, that believes that they are born to dominate, and wherever they are going, especially to the West, they're going there to dominate. And Trump, being a friend to BB Benjamin Netanyahu, understands that Benjamin Netanyahu is still a time bomb in Israel, and literally the leaders survive by always being on the alert. The survival mode is fighting all the time around enemies, around the people who don't want to see them exist. So, making this statement, you're going to find out why he made a statement and what the world is saying about it, especially the Muslims, right? Let's continue. So, years later, the debate has returned as immigration, border security, terrorism, and national identity once again, as it dominates political discussions in America and Europe. Was Trump trying to protect America, or did he cross a line that should never have been crossed? In today's video, we will examine what led to the statement, why Trump said it, what happened afterwards, the legal battles that followed, the reactions from around the world, and why this issue continues to divide millions of people today. Stay with me because the facts behind the story are more complicated than many people realize. Immigration has always been one of the most emotional issues in American politics. The US was built by immigrants. Let's get down history. Even Trump himself is a migrant from Germany and a lot of other people. It was a new colony that was discovered, and a lot of Europeans were actually going there to make make economy grow and take booty of whatever is there, right? So, yet every generation has argued about who should be allowed to enter the country and under what condition. Following several deadly terrorist attacks around the world, including Paris in 2015 and October 7, 2023 in Israel, and San Bernardino attack in California, fear about extremist violence has grown rapidly. Many Americans are demanding tougher immigration control. Imagine staying in the country, having a peaceful time, and before you know it, there's an explosion. And most times, the people that would take about this, or take control, or take blame for it, or take responsibility are the extremists. At this moment, I'm not trying to be biased, but have you ever seen Christians just walk into a place and start shooting randomly as a Christian sect? I'm talking about an individual Christian. I'm talking about a sect going to a place, going to shootouts and all of that. It has never happened. Go down memory lane. And if you have any idea like that, can you drop in the comment section, right? So it's during this tense period that Donald Trump, then a presidential candidate, made the boldest proposal ever heard from the major American politicians. His proposal immediately became international news. Now, the Islamic State, also known as ISIS, has claimed responsibility for several attacks across Europe and Middle East. Just weeks later, 14 people were killed in San Bernardino in California. America was frightened. Questions were raised about immigration screening, and many wondered whether extremists could enter the country posing as refugees or tourists. Like, that was the only way. They come as refugees, they come as tourists, they come seeking asylum, and before you know it, they disappear within the country, right? So Donald Trump argued that America's immigration system was not strong enough to detect these potential terrorists, and he insists the government is doing all it could so that they will not lack sufficient information about who was entering the country. And it was against this backdrop that Trump released a statement calling for what he described as a complete and total shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until better security measures could be implemented. It's against the backdrop of 2015 of what happened in California in San Bernardino that made him to make the statement, right? Supporters viewed it as a temporary national security proposal, while critics saw it as targeting an entire religion rather than specific security threats. But why is insecurity, threats, destruction always linked to Muslims, right? Why did Trump believe it was necessary? Let's talk about why he believed this is a necessary measure to ensure security of just not the borders but of Americans. Trump repeatedly argued that his first responsibility as president would be protecting American citizens. According to him, border security and immigration control were inseparable from national security. He claimed America had weak vetting procedures, and he also pointed to attacks that had occurred in Europe, arguing that Western countries were becoming vulnerable because they failed to control illegal immigration and properly screen arrivals. Trump frequent referenced countries expressing social tension linked to immigration, and he insists that preventing dangerous individuals from entering the U.S. was more important than political correctness, right? Many of his supporters agreed. They believed strong border policies would reduce security risks. Others argued that terrorism should be addressed through intelligence gathering rather than restriction affecting millions of innocent Muslims. The global reaction, of course, the response was immediate. Muslim organizations condemned the proposal. Civil rights groups described it as religious discrimination. Several world leaders criticized Trump's comments, but let's come to think about it. If you're going to stay in the US or Qatar or some other countries, if you're a Jew or a Christian, your freedom is also restricted, right? Let's not talk about it, but go and Google about it. For example, we don't have any known place of worship in KSA, I mean Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And at the same time, you're calling Trump discriminating against religion. Can we balance the equation, right? Okay, large protests were also organized. Many legal experts question whether such a policy will violate America's constitution and principles of religious freedom. Even within the Republican Party, some politicians distance themselves from Trump's remark. However, many voters appreciated Trump's willingness to address issues they believe other politicians have always ignored. His poll number remains strong among supporters who prioritize immigration and border security. The controversy became one of the defining moments of the 2016 presidential campaign. Right now, the travel ban controversy. Let's talk about it. After becoming president, Trump has signed an executive order temporarily restricting entry from several countries identified by the US government as presenting elevated security concerns. Critics widely refer to it as Muslim ban. The Trump administration rejected that description, stating the order applied to specific countries based on national security assessment rather than Muslim as a whole. There are countries that will have just like people coming from Iran, we have a lot of good people there, but because of the insecurity, one has to be very careful, right? The order faced immediate legal challenge. Federal judges blocked parts of it. Several revised versions followed. Eventually, the U.S. Supreme Court upheld a supervised and a revised version of the policy, allowing it to take effect under certain conditions. Even after the ruling debate continued, supporters viewed it as a lawful security measure. Opponents argued it's unfair, affecting people from predominantly Muslim countries and damaging America's reputation. And why the debate continues to today. Years later, immigration remained one of the biggest political issues not only in America but also across Europe. Countries continue to debate border control, asylum policies, refugee administration, and national security. Some believe stronger immigration enforcement is essential. Others argue governments can maintain security while respecting religious freedom and protecting people fleeing persecution. The challenge from policymakers is balancing security concern with civil liberties and humanitarian responsibilities. That debate continues to reshape or shape election and public opinions around the world. Donald Trump's statements remain one of the most controversial moments in modern American politics. For some, it represents decisive leadership during a time of fear. Others symbolize discrimination against an entire religious community. Whatever your view is, the controversy changed political conversation about immigration, border security, and national security for years to come. Now, I would like to hear from you. Do you think government should prioritize stricter border security, even if it means tightening immigration restrictions? Or do you believe security can be maintained without policies that affect entire group of people? Well, share your thoughts respectfully in the comments below. And if you find this analysis informative, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our in-depth coverage of more global issues. Thank you for watching. I will see you again in my next one. Bye.